wanted to share with you what I've recently been doing to slow down, to find that calm and that comfort, and to just start enjoying life a little bit more. The last few months I've really been taking the time to slow down, find that inner calm, that inner peace, and just find out what works for me. And I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm completely there and that I never have any bad days and that my life is absolutely perfect, because it's not. But just taking that time to slow down and find what works for me. Different things work for different people, but I just wanted to share with you my few things that I've been doing to slow down, find that inner calm and that inner peace, and hopefully you can try and take one or two of them, maybe adapt them to suit you a little bit more. So the first one is actually that I've recently discovered The Secret. Now, I'll be honest, I was told about this book for so many years and I just don't think that I was in the right place or the right time to read it. When you do read it, you have to go in very open-minded. You have to be ready to kind of give yourself over and just fully immerse yourself in the book. I do really try to believe that everything happens for a reason. I know sometimes that can be a little bit hard, but in this instance, I feel like if I'd picked the book up about 4 years ago when I originally heard about it, I just really think it would have gone over my head and it just wouldn't have been worth reading. Whereas now in this stage that I'm in my life, it has really changed my kind of outlook on quite a lot of things. One of the main things in the book is actually waking up every morning and just saying thank you. Giving gratitude for what you already have, understanding how far you've come. It is literally giving me goosebumps talking about it. Now, I'm not saying that I do it as soon as I open my eyes, because I have to get up and make my husband's breakfast and send him off out the door. But once I've made my coffee and I sit down and I've got 2 minutes, I like to say thank you for how far we've come, me and my husband and my 2 children. I like to say thank you for my husband and his health and my children and their health. Thank you that we can go food shopping and that we can spend the money that we need to spend to feed our family for the week, and you know, it's not going to leave us kind of really struggling in other areas for the rest of the month. I feel as though just that overall ritual of on a morning saying thank you, it helps to keep me grounded, to keep me present, and it just helps me to understand just how far we've actually come. So the second one is a little bit deep, but it is truly soul searching. Now, I am somebody who left school, I had no idea what to do. I've kind of just fell into job after job after job. Although I have loved different aspects of different jobs and I've been very lucky to fall into some positions that I have, I've never truly been content with what I was doing. The one main factor that's always come back for me is content creation. Whether it be that I do bits on the side for the company that I was working for, whether I've worked for myself doing content creation, both professional and personal, every single time it's come back to content creation. Now, the one person who has said that for the last 10 or 15 years has always been my husband. I feel sometimes that the people around us know us better than we know ourselves. No matter the career, no matter what day it is, it always seems to be content creation. That is something that I do truly love, and it's something that I'm currently in the position after so many years, in the right headspace and in the right position as in career wise, to be able to kind of push forward with it. Really hunker down and do some soul searching. If you still have no idea yourself like I didn't, ask somebody that's really close to you and you might be surprised at what they say. So number 3 for me has been reading. So I always used to love to read when I was younger, when I had a lot more time to kind of sit, take a few hours and just read and fully get involved in a book. I'll be honest, like most people, since having children, your hobbies and things that you like kind of take a back step. It's only been within the last, I'd say maybe 12 to 18 months that I've really got back into reading books. But honestly, the difference that I've seen from, again, fully immersing myself into something I love, which is books, the thing that kind of pulled me back in again was the series by Laurie Gilmore. It's got the Cinnamon Roll Bookstore and I think it's the Christmas Tree Farm and a couple of other ones as well. They were just such easy, cozy reads, and her series has been the one thing that's kind of like pulled me back into reading books again. So again, because I have children, I need something that's easy to read, something that I can pick up, read a couple of pages, couple of chapters and put back down, because I then need to rush off to take the kids swimming or I need to take them to football. And from reading her series, it has really found my love for books again. I now have a reading list on Amazon, I have reading lists on my notes, I even have some pictures of books. So if I'm out and about and I'm just rushing about and I see a book that I like, I will quickly take a picture of it, and I've got so many pictures of just random books that I want to read on my camera roll. I really love getting all cozy. I don't care what season it is, getting all cozy, maybe under a blanket or sat outside in the sunshine with a giant cup of coffee and just reading a seasonal book. I really think there's nothing better. So number 4 for me has been getting back into crafts and creating. So this kind of goes hand in hand with content creating. So I really do love creating content. Like I said, it's something that I've always enjoyed. But that love does also extend to crafts. So I love anything crafty, from like wreath making to making a card for somebody's birthday. I really do love enjoying crafts. I think it's that element of creating something from nothing, or just taking like a plain wooden wreath and turn it into something beautiful. I really jump back into my element with crafting and creating. I also like learning loads of new crafts. I really want to get into like embroidery or just sewing in general. Maybe some like jewellery making, something like that. Honestly, just one end to the other. So many DIYs, so many crafts, there's so many different things that I want to try. But again, putting that time and effort into myself and doing things that I like to do and taking that time out, it's again added to that self-calming feeling. So one other element of this is I have actually written my own book, and it is a children's book. My nephew passed away a couple of years ago, and in loving memory of my nephew, I created a book. It was essentially just a way of kind of helping to grieve. Again, just something that started from just trying to find that calm and that inner peace, and just a hobby that I absolutely love ended up turning into something that I am now extremely proud of. Loving memory, this story is dedicated to my beautiful nephew, whose light continues to shine in every star above. Though he is no longer with us, his memory lives on in laughter, love, and boundless imagination of a child. My brother is an astronaut was written to gently explore grief through the eyes of a young child who believes their brother is on a grand adventure in space, watching over them always. May this story bring comfort to those navigating loss and remind us all that love never truly leaves us. Something magical that has come from, again, finding that inner peace and that inner comfort by doing something that I love. So number 6 for me is romanticizing every day in every possible way. Now I know that that might sound a little bit unachievable, but what I mean is the littlest things. So when you wake up in the morning and you make that big giant cup of coffee, or that steaming hot cup of tea, a giant cup of hot chocolate, sit and enjoy that. So every morning I call it my golden hour. So I make my cup of coffee, I'm up before everybody else, and I literally just sit either in silence, or I read my book, or I might even just scroll through on my phone. But that is my golden hour, to just sit and revel in it and just enjoy that time. A lot of times I will sit and read a book, a lot of times I might have the window open and I can hear the birds. Whatever works for you, just enjoy those little golden moments. Say if you are driving along and you notice that the sun is coming out and it's gleaming through the trees and everything seems brighter and lighter, driving along, and you put on like a soundtrack that you've created on YouTube or Spotify that's just made up of like general old nostalgic like movie tracks. It literally makes you feel like you're living in a romantic comedy. Just try and romanticize 1 or 2 moments a day, and you will find yourself doing it more and more. So number 7 is to reflect. So for the days that have not necessarily gone that well, for the days that I feel down and gloomy and sad, because we all have them, and I know that you cannot feel happy and healthy and wealthy and in abundance and just be generally happy all the time. I know that things go wrong. Unfortunately, bad things do happen. So on the days that I've not necessarily had a very good day, I like to sit on an evening and just kind of reflect. You could do this like I do by literally just sitting and thinking about the day and what I could have done differently, or what could have gone differently, or how I could have dealt with the situation better. Or you could write it down in a journal, or you could write down on your notes on your phone. Just when you're in a situation like that again, you are having like a doomy gloomy Monday afternoon, just things that you feel like you could do to kind of perk yourself up and turn that day around. So whether it be some positive affirmations, whether it be listening to a song that you really love, whether it be looking at a picture on your phone of somebody that you love so dearly that you can't help but smile every time you see them, whether it be knowing that you need to walk away and take a couple of deep breaths and then come back to that situation to be able to deal with it. It's just sitting and reflecting and understanding how you could have done that differently, so that when it does come up again, you can make sure that you're not going to be in that same bad mood again. You're not going to get yourself down over it. You're going to do those few simple steps just to bring you back round and make sure that you have a better day. So the next one for me is, I know a cliche, but it has been exercise. I've always been somebody who has struggled with my weight and exercise. I am not very good at being motivated like a lot of us. It's always something that I've kind of dabbled in, I've stuck to for so long, and then I've just kind of tapered off. But something that I am really trying to put myself into is exercise. I literally exercise one time, and both my mental and physical health, how much it changes over that one time is just absolutely ridiculous. So what I've done before is I've gone with the typical, you need to go to the gym, you need to do all this cardio, you need to go running, you need to do this and that and the other, and it's never been something that I've been able to stick to because my heart's just simply not in it. My husband actually suggested about me doing some sort of weight training because I could do shorter kind of bursts of about 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. He suggested me trying that to see how I get along. The difference that it has made is just unbelievable. I feel so much physically and mentally stronger that I can't believe that I didn't do this 10, 20 years ago. The days that I don't do weight training, I will go for a walk, I will walk the dog, I will get up in the morning and do some yoga. You don't have to do what everybody else has to do. Not necessarily saying that weight training and going for a walk is going to be your thing. Maybe just switching it up a little bit, and if what you're currently doing isn't working, or if you're not doing anything, then maybe just have a try. Try doing yoga, try joining a running club, just try something different and see how much more motivated and how much happier you can be. So a big issue for me has always been managing time. I always say I'll be late for my own funeral because I honestly will. I don't mean to be late. I absolutely hate being late. I feel awful, but it's just, unfortunately, it just seems to be me. I wait until the last possible second every single time, and then I just rush off and my head's a mess and I'm overwhelmed, and it's just absolute chaos and craziness. And not just in that sense of, oh, it's time to go pick the kids up, I need to set off in 10 minutes and setting off in like 7 minutes. I also mean in the sense of prioritising what means the most to me. So for example, if I have work to do and I also have videos to film and edit, I try to ensure to prioritise certain slots of time. And the hardest thing for me is actually sticking to the time frames that I've done. Honestly, when I do, I feel a million times better. It is hard because you have to be quite strict with yourself, but I make sure to only focus on that task at that time frame, if that makes sense. I will set myself 3 hours for work, and I will only do work in those 3 hours. I find that if I seem to go over, that's again when I start getting very overwhelmed and very chaotic. But if I do be very strict and I stick to that particular time frame, I found that I just feel so much more calmer, so much more in control, and I feel like I'm actually being productive and getting things done. It's just prioritizing and being strict in that sense, because in the long run, I'm then not going to bed panicking and worrying, thinking I haven't got this done, I haven't got that done. Or when I'm sat with my children, I'm not constantly trying to do things for work. It just helps me to be a lot more calmer and a lot more present. So the last thing in this list for me is surrounding myself with things that make me happy. This can be done in such simple ways. A lot of my decor is photo frames and little bits that just bring me happiness. So photo frames especially, I like to change them out seasonally. I do have pictures of my children about and other members of family. Then, such as in my bedroom, I have pictures of sunflowers and cowboys and mountain ranges and sunsets. More of like a dark kind of western cowboy kind of theme in my bedroom. In my kitchen, it's much lighter and airier and brighter, and it's filled with fresh flowers and more books and just everything that kind of brings me comfort and joy. I feel like surrounding yourself with things that bring you peace and bring you happiness and comfort and joy just helps to lift your spirit. Having a bad day and you get home and go back into your little cozy corner with a book and a cup of coffee and a giant blanket in the winter, and you're surrounded by flowers and pictures of flowers and your family and just everything that brings you so much, I know I keep saying comfort and joy, but truly that brings you comfort and joy. How is that not going to lift your mood? So start off with something simple. Try changing out a photo that you have in a photo frame in a picture of your favourite flower. So I really hope that you can take a couple of bits away from this and apply it to your own life, and hopefully help you to slow down and just feel that joy and comfort and that inner peace a little bit more. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you in the next one.